What's up, guys, and welcome to the Olsen Angle. Today we're going to be talking about 6'5", 290-pound offensive tackle, Kingsley Suamataia. When I was meticulously reviewing film, looking for the next young man I wanted to feature in my recruit analysis videos, I ran across Kingsley's film, and I was thoroughly impressed. The young man does so many things well on film that national recruiting sites seem to omit or just not notice, and I think it actually leads to Kingsley being underrated. The first thing I noticed on film is he's extremely athletic and measured in his movement. He's got controlled footwork, and you don't really ever see him step outside of his base. And the reasoning for that is he has quick feet that move like pistons and allows him to cover ground, and it prevents him from having to take these long and clumsy steps. Kingsley also has a solid punch and gets inside hands on the defensive lineman's breastplate. And when he gets those inside hands, it allows him to control the defensive lineman as if he's driving a car. I was extremely impressed with his pass sets. He has fantastic lateral quickness and does a superb job of mirroring defenders. The young man also is patient in his pass sets, which I absolutely love. He keeps his hands tight to his body before striking the defensive lineman with a punch, which prevents the defensive lineman from being able to chop your hands and rip past you. In general, he looks so calm while pass blocking. He's so quick and fluid in his movements that he's able to block a wide 9 technique, but yet he's so strong with his punch that he can neutralize a bull rush. One more thing that I think is important to note about his pass blocking is he keeps his head out of the block and moves his feet after contact, which is why you don't see him lean at defenders. Switching gears a bit to run blocking, I like that Kingsley is a drive blocker as opposed to a position blocker, because that helps open and free up running lanes for the ball carrier. He also has great pad level and knee bend when firing off the ball. I know this one might seem small, but I noticed he also does a good job of taking angles to block linebackers at the second level. Instead of blocking to where the linebacker is, he anticipates and blocks where the linebacker is going to be during the play. The young man has an excellent compete level and also consistently finishes his blocks. I also want to take a second to talk a little bit about his physique. He's got a solid lower and upper body, and he's not your stereotypical offensive lineman that carries a lot of weight in his stomach and gut. Well, that's enough of me rambling on though. Let's go ahead and jump into the highlights. He's got his head out of the block there. Oh my gosh. He's got the inside hands on the breastplate. He's just able to ragdoll that defensive end and make him look like a child. I always love those type of screens as an offensive tackle. You invite that defensive end upfield, and as soon as he gets past the point of no return, you can just flatten and level him out. Look at him. He's continuing to run his feet and fight his ass off there on the backside block. I cannot tell you how important that is. There are countless times throughout games where teams run outside zone plays. Whether it's a toss, a jet, a sweep, it really doesn't matter. But sometimes the defense will over pursue and the ball carrier is actively looking for a cutback lane. To see Kingsley fighting backside, continuing to block that defensive end to prevent him from making any type of play on this situation, it really speaks volumes to the compete level. That is beautiful. He goes ahead and quickly sets that wide 9 rusher. He gets a punch, gets inside hands on the defender, stops any type of momentum he has, and then he finishes the block. That right there is exactly what I'm talking about. You saw how that defensive end tried to chop his arms, but Kingsley has his arms close to his body. So the defensive end's chopping, but he's not hitting anything. And as soon as you overextend yourself like that as a defensive end, it allows you to get easily punched because you've made a lot of your body available. So Kingsley goes ahead and gets a good punch on him and finishes the block. I love it. That is a block that you bring to coaching seminars and use as a teaching reference. He fires out from a 2-point stance without taking any false steps. He gets up to the second level and he's got good pad level. He gets underneath the linebacker. He's got inside hands And as soon as he makes contact, he continues to run his feet. He doesn't get lazy. He doesn't try to outmuscle the linebacker or lean on the linebacker. He moves his feet and finishes the block. He gets underneath the defensive end, continues to drive his feet, and he moves that defensive end to the end zone, 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. He takes a good angle, and he's able to ear hole and pancake that linebacker. And a little added plus, he had inside hands. Look at how calm and controlled he is handling that bull rush. The defensive end tries to go ahead and catch him off guard, but he's still sitting inside heavy. And as soon as he's able to go ahead and get a punch on that D end, he stops his momentum. He tries to disengage, but he's already got inside hands, and he just finishes the block. Oh my gosh. Look at the effort on this play, and he's going to hawk him down. That is still an excellent effort play, and I love to see that compete level. That is a monstrous block on a defensive end. He gets inside hands, washes him down the line of scrimmage, and opens up a gaping hole for the ball carrier. He stands up that defensive end. He gets that inside hand placement and pancakes him. That is a superb down block, and he pancakes that defensive end. He gets inside hands on that defensive end, and you see him start to move his feet and finish the block. That's another superb down block. He washes him right down the line of scrimmage, pancakes him, and takes him completely out of the play. That is a beautiful vertical pass set, and he powers back down the line of scrimmage to stick with that defensive end. He gets inside hands on that defensive end and opens up a gaping hole. The running back runs right behind him for the touchdown. That is great awareness. He notices that the defensive lineman is leaning on that running play, so he just goes ahead and pulls him straight down underneath himself and takes him out of the equation. That is an extremely tough block. They wanted him to cross the face and block a 3 technique as a tackle. That is an extremely tough ask, but Kingsley got the job done. Look at the patience on that play. That wide 9 technique is trying to club Kingsley's arms down. But again, he's got his arms close to his body. So when that DN misses, he starts falling forward, and Kingsley just flattens him after that. Here he is again, collapsing another defensive end on the backside on a down block. Look at the movement he's able to get on that down block. He pancakes the defensive end and opens up a massive hole for the ball carrier. When he gets locked onto these defensive linemen, it's really tough for them to disengage. Kingsley has those inside hands, and he's always moving his feet, and it makes it nearly impossible for the defensive lineman to disengage and make a play. Ooh, I'm really liking the pass set. That's smooth. He sees the defensive lineman's leaning at him a little bit, and he's overextended. He has the inside hand on the breastplate of the defensive lineman. As soon as he feels he's leaning, he just pulls him right down and shucks him straight to the ground. That's beautiful. That defensive end was trying to run the bell curve and get skinny to get past Kingsley, but he notices that and just uses the defensive lineman's momentum to take him to the ground. That is beautiful. Kingsley has his outside arm on the inside of the defensive lineman's breastplate. His inside hand is on the hip of the defensive lineman. And if you're strong enough, what you can do is you can continue pushing that defensive lineman as he's still trying to work the bell curve. And with this offhand, which is the inside hand, you can slam his hip and pretzel the defensive lineman. So what you saw right there was him pretzel defensive lineman. It's very tough to do and a very impressive block. Look at how quickly he's able to cover ground. That is a wide 9. He's on the outside of the tight end. He's able to still vertically kick back quick enough in order to stop the defensive end from getting pressure on the quarterback. That's beautiful. That's a good job of redirecting and powering back down the line of scrimmage and preventing any pressure on that bull rush. Oh my God. He gets inside hands on the defensive lineman and drives him 10 yards downfield for the block. After watching the film, I was extremely impressed. Kingsley is an advanced pass blocker. He does a good job of keeping his head out of the block. He gets an actual punch on the defensive lineman. He gets inside hands. He moves so well in his pass set also. He can cover a wide 9, but he also has the ability to stop a bull rush and power down the line of scrimmage and stop those inside pass rush moves. I think he also does a lot of positive things in run game. He's got good pad level, he runs his feet on contact, and he's got an excellent compete level. And mind you, this is all from the 2-point stance. It's much more difficult to run block out of a 2-point stance as opposed to a 3-point stance. But in the same token, it's also probably a more realistic look because most colleges run their tackles in a 2-point stance on the majority of the snaps. Thanks so much guys for watching the video. If you've enjoyed this content and you want to support me, number 1, do so by subscribing. Number 2, like the video. And number 3, if you have anybody you want me to cover in the future, leave it in the comment section below. But other than that guys, thanks so much for stopping by and have a blessed day.